Tired of dealing with annoying flies, fruit flies, and gnats in your home? The Zevo Flying Insect Trap is your ultimate solution. Don't wait. Check out the link in the video description now to get your Zevo Flying Insect Trap on Amazon and enjoy a bug-free home today.
So, you want to know what's brewing in the world of chip tech? Well, let me tell you, it's not good news for ARM. The company that designs those fancy ARM chips has announced plans to pursue a retrial in its high-stakes licensing lawsuit against Qualcomm. That's right, folks. We're talking about a battle over intellectual property rights and licensing agreements that could potentially shake the very foundations of the tech industry. But before we get into all the juicy details, let's set some context. Qualcomm, the company at the center of this dispute, has been accused by ARM of using its proprietary technology without permission. Now, here's where it gets interesting. The jury in a U.S. federal court delivered a mixed verdict on Friday, ruling in Qualcomm's favor on 2 of the 3 counts, but deadlocking on the question of whether Nuvia, a company acquired by Qualcomm, had breached its agreement with ARM. That's right, folks. We're talking about a deadlock. ARM expressed its dissatisfaction with the outcome, stating that it was disappointed that the jury was unable to reach consensus across the claims. And you know what? I'd be disappointed too if I were in their shoes. But here's the thing. ARM intends to seek a retrial due to the jury's deadlock, which means we're not done with this story yet. So let's dive deeper into what led up to this point. The dispute centers on Qualcomm's use of ARM's intellectual property in its Snapdragon X processors, which feature Oryon cores originally developed by Nuvia. Now, you might be wondering why this matters, but trust me, it does. ARM argued that Qualcomm violated licensing agreements and claimed that Nuvia's technology, originally designed for data center processors, should not have been repurposed for client devices without renegotiating licensing terms. But Qualcomm maintained that its existing ARM instruction set architecture license covered technology developed by its subsidiaries, including Nuvia. It gets even more complicated when you consider the role of Gerard Williams III, a former Apple engineer and lead developer of Oryon cores. He testified during the trial that the design contained less than 1% of ARM technology, bolstering Qualcomm's defense. But here's the thing. The jury ultimately sided with Qualcomm on 2 key counts, clearing the company of wrongdoing. However, the deadlock over whether Nuvia had breached its licensing terms leaves room for ARM to take that specific issue back to court. So, what does this mean for the future? Well, if ARM proceeds with a retrial, it will be limited to litigating the unresolved count, as the other 2 have already been decided in Qualcomm's favor. But make no mistake, folks, this is far from over. The tech world just got a whole lot more interesting. And that's why we're here talking about the latest developments in the world of chip tech. I'm your name, and this has been another episode of Qualcomm Pulse. Stay tuned for more updates on this story as it unfolds.